Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willowbound Journals, and today I have a Journal With Me episode working in my yearly journal. So every year, ever since I discovered junk journals in 2017, I have kept a yearly journal where I just document the major milestones and the biggest moments from the year. I also have a daily journal that I keep. But that one is more like a memory keeping journal with photos and everyday ephemera that I pick up from my life with just a dot point list of what I have done each day. Whereas this one, I only record the big moments. So the first signature has my prompts for the Intentional Life course that I run every year. And it's just my sort of New Year's process that I have done for many, 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 many years. And in the last few years, I turned it into a course to share it with other people in case they wanted to follow my own process. And if they found it helpful, they could sort of set up the year with me in the way that I do it. So I love having that first signature as my intentions signature. And then I'm saving the last signature in this journal for another course that I run every year called the Reflections Journal course. And that one is where I look back at the year and celebrate it, honor it, and just say goodbye to it, basically, so I can get ready for the next year. So in December, I tend to do the reflections prompts, and in January, I do the intentions prompts. Then those middle signatures, that's where I record the year. So there are 6 signatures in this journal. So the 4 middle ones I sort of do for each quarter of the year. And this time I have printed out these monthly journaling sheets that I created in Canva one day. And I loved just having a snapshot of my month in one place. So in the top left-hand box, it says events, so the main events from that month. Then I've got highlights, then I've got notes. And that one, I tend to just write a list of the books that I read that month. Sometimes I might write a major lesson that I learned or some fun random fact from the month. And in the right-hand spot, at top right-hand spot, I put the photo of the month. So my favorite photo or one that just sums up the month for me. And that's what I've been doing at the moment, and interspersing them with 1 or 2 pages of photos, just documenting that month. So it's been working for me doing it this way. Since I already have the daily journal, I don't really need to have a yearly journal as well, recording everything. But I do like just having one place to get the big moments and have all of the main things in there, so I don't have to wade through all the mundane details in my daily journal, for example. And these journaling sheets, monthly journaling sheets, are a printable that is available to all of my beautiful patrons. It is up on my Patreon website, and it is available for anyone who is part of the Willow email list. So I think I started that this year. If you just want to email me, my email's down below. Just write Willow Mail in the subject line, and then I will reply with the printables that I send out every now and then. And I also send out updates or announcements, things like if I have an Etsy sale or if I'm going to be starting a new course, and just other little printables here and there. I don't know, I don't send much. I'm not the most up to date with my sending out emails. Ideally, I'd love to work on it, and I think I am going to work on this for next year, like a proper monthly email for the Willow Mail, where I include just a little tiny update, any announcements, but the main thing is like a quote that I love, a poem that I love, a YouTube video that I love, a song that I love, a book that I love, just inspiration, like an inspiration email of things that I discovered from that month that I'm loving, that I want to pass on and share with others. So I've been kind of doing that with the Everything Journal course, which is another course that I am running this year. It's a year-long course, and every month or or so. Sometimes it's twice a month, sometimes it's once a month. I send out an inspiration email with some journaling prompts, some quotes or poetry or links to different websites of videos and songs or books that are really inspiring at me at the moment. So yeah, I thought I would next year maybe work on that idea and do a monthly email with that. And that's a good way for me to record all the things that are inspiring me as well and all the things that I'm loving each month. But yeah, back to my yearly journal. You can see here I've got a whole bunch of different photos that I've printed out, and these are just one photo per event, if that makes sense. So one of them was in that top right corner. You might have already seen all these photos because I recorded all this in my daily journal as well. My costume for a friend's birthday party. She had a themed birthday party where everyone got dressed up, and it was for the TV show The Last Airbender. So I went as Katara. I also went to another little party where it was a Bridgerton watch party, and we all brought some yummy food and got dressed up in pretty dresses, and that was really fun. The other photos that I was documenting there were of some of the photos from a trip that I went on to Mackay with my nephew and my sister. So we got to see platypus, and we got to go to some lookouts and that kind of thing. So I just printed off a couple of photos from that trip. And now I also put a photo of one of the platypuses that we saw in the top right hand corner, the best photo that I got of it swimming. So yeah, that was my highlight from the Mackay trip. So now I'm just adding my journaling and writing down the main things that I want to remember from July. And my highlights, I already mentioned my main events, those were that go along with the photos. So my highlights though were Wimbledon, where Alcaraz defeated Djokovic in 3 sets in the Wimbledon final. I am a big tennis fan. I love my tennis. And Alcaraz is one of my favourite tennis players. I also love watching the Tour de France in July. And another highlight from July was a beautiful, beautiful curated happy mail from my kindred spirit, Susan. And my favourite piece that she sent was a ballerina print, which is on my gallery wall in my room. I absolutely love it. So thank you, Susan. At the bottom, I wrote down the books that I read in July. I read The House in the Pines, which is a book that we read for the Bowen Book Club. Babel, which is a book I read for my own book club called the Willow Book Club. And The Naturalist of Amsterdam. So I didn't really like The House in the Pines. I didn't think it was the most well-written book. It had a bit of a slow start. The middle was exciting. I do have to say the middle was a page turner. I couldn't put it down in the middle. But then by the end, I was just a bit bored and not interested anymore. So not my favourite book, but still can get good things out of it, of course. And then Babel was one of my favourite books this year. Oh my goodness, I absolutely loved Babel. Such a good book. That one, The House in the Pines, was like a murder mystery thriller type of book, but it wasn't all that thrilling in the start or the end. Babel is a historical fantasy dark academia, and The Naturalist of Amsterdam is a historical fiction biography, biographical fiction. Yeah, something like that. So that one, it wasn't my favourite book, but I enjoyed it. It was more of like a slow, cozy read, not much in the way of plot, because, it's more just going over someone's life, a biography of her life. But it was a cozy read. Glad I read it. Those were my highlights and notes and events from July. I'm going to this page now, eventually, finally. This page is one that I decorated using Amity Bloom prints from her kit Sage Skies. I saw this beautiful dancing image of the lady there and on one of her videos, and I just emailed her one day or reached out to her through Etsy and said, are you going to sell that print in a digital kit, or if not, would you consider selling it to me just on its own? And she was like, yes, it's going to be part of a kit. And she let me know when it was released, and I was so excited, and I was just telling her how much it spoke to me and how much I loved it, and it just connected with my soul. And she also said like it inspired her whole kit, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. And that's one of those photos I want to recreate as well. Because dancing for me is just such a beautiful, graceful, freeing, happy thing. So we wanted to document that page with her beautiful printables because it just spoke to me so much. The whole kit, like she said, I hope you like the colours when she let me know it was released. And I was like, I do, because blue's my favourite colour and I love sage green. Sage is sort of one of my nicknames, and yeah, so blue and sage green was perfect. And because I'm really into sort of teals and mints and sage, it all works together anyway. So this page now I'm documenting here some printables from Tiffany Julia's course called Unfurling. So Tiffany Julia and Amity Bloom are two of my absolute favourite journalers or creative people. And so I wanted to document this. Anything that really speaks to my heart, I really want to dedicate a page to, in my journals. So I followed Tiffany Julia for quite a while now, and she inspires me so much. And as soon as she released her Unfurling course, I was like, yep, I'm doing that one. I was waiting for it for so long. I love taking journaling courses. As much as I love running my own courses, I always want to be taking courses as well so that I can keep being inspired and keep growing and learning and creating and all that kind of thing. So yeah, these are just some printables from that course, and I love that some of her prompts include creative self-portraits, and I've really been delving into the world of creative self-portraits more and more and want to explore that a bit more as well. I find creative self-portraits a way of a beautiful form of self-expression, and I'm really connecting with imagery. And I'm putting two and two together this year because I've been working on my gallery wall for a long time, and I just have been realizing, beautiful imagery really speaks to my soul and connects with my heart. So I want to create my own beautiful imagery as well. And I can do that through photography. I can do that through creative self-portraits. So I want to keep doing that, more of that, and I'll be sharing a bit more of that later on my channel as well. So excited. So yeah, I'm kind of just flipping back and forth between pages in this journal as I fill in places here and there. And I love the creative self-portraits. I just chose 3 of them on that Tiffany Julia page. I did a whole bunch more, but just chose 3 of my favorites. That the aim of these creative self-portraits is to display something of your personality, to express something of your identity, of your passions. And I love thinking of creative ways to portray that. Anyway, I'm just cutting out as well the next monthly sheet for August and just getting that into the journal so it's ready to go, and I can fill that out at the end of August or at the start of September, and I have all of the months printed out already, so I can just cut those out as I need them and stick them in. And I'm just conscious of making sure that I have enough pages for everything. So I try not to document too much in my yearly journal because I want to keep it to just one journal. Like I said, I've got a yearly journal for every year since 2017, and they all just sit together on a shelf in order, in chronological order. And there's something about that for me that feels really cool. I love things being in, I love organization. I love order. It makes me feel, it makes me feel calm when things are ordered. So I would like to change it up one day, have a journal that I just fill up as I want to fill it up. And then when I finish it, I go on to the next one. And then when I finish that one, I go on to the next one. I think that would be a great way to do it, because then everything is just in the one place rather than having multiple journals for different things. But every time I think about that idea and doing it, I just go back to my default of one yearly journal per year, because it's just neat and it's tidy. And if I want to find something for that year, I can just pull out that one single journal, as opposed to if I have like 5 or 6 journals for 1 year with everything and anything in it, like it would be much harder to find things. But maybe not, because as long as I keep it chronological, I don't know. Order is one of my core values, so I'm always thinking about it and wrestling with it in a fun way. The other thing I was documenting here was Susan's lovely happy mail that she sent. So I'm just putting in the card and the note that she sent me. So I'm sticking that in between some pages, finding a spot for them to tuck in alongside my July monthly spread, so I can remember, yeah, that happened in July. So yeah, that's pretty much all my journaling that I did, catching up in this journal. I hope you enjoyed this video, and feel free to share in the comments how you journal. Do you keep a yearly journal or a daily journal? Do you keep one or multiple journals? I would love to hear. I just love talking about journals. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.